My sister Joyce's last vacation photo still gives me chills. You can see them there, her and Jeremy, drinks in hand, sunset behind them, looking like the perfect, happy couple. But if you look closely, in the corner, there's something that shouldn't be there. A shadow that doesn't make sense. We didn't notice it until it was too late. Let me tell you about Joyce and Jeremy. They met at Cameron's wedding. You know how those things go. Jeremy was that guy who somehow remembers everyone's name, who makes you feel like you're the most important person in the room. 6 months later, boom, engagement ring. The wedding was small, just family and close friends. I gave the classic brother of the bride speech, never seen my sister this happy. Jeremy just grinned and slapped my back like we were old buddies. "I'll keep her that way," he said. Later that night I pulled him aside. You know how brothers are. Told him if he hurt her, I'd find him. He just laughed it off. "Relax, man, I'm not going anywhere." 3 days later, they're off to Bali. Jeremy booked one of those ridiculous luxury resorts. Private pool, butler service, the whole deal. "Only the best for my wife," he tells the check-in staff. Joyce does that eye roll she always did when Jeremy showed off, but she's smiling. That last night, they have dinner on the beach. Joyce posts that photo we all know now. Jeremy's arm around her, ocean in the background. Caption says, "Forever starts now." I liked it. I was probably the last person to see that photo before they disappeared. Next morning, hotel staff find their room exactly how you'd never want to find a honeymoon suite. Bed messy, towels on the floor, suitcases half-packed like they meant to come back. No fight, no note, nothing missing except them. Security cameras show them leaving at 3 a.m. Jeremy first, Joyce a step behind. Right at the edge of the frame, she turns back for just a second, like she forgot something. Or maybe, like she heard something. After that, nothing. No cameras caught them coming back. No taxi driver remembers them. No activity on their credit cards. Just gone. Vanished. Like they never existed at all. Except for that photo. That damn photo with the shadow nobody saw until it was too late. The call came at 6 a.m. Joyce and Jeremy were supposed to check out that morning, but the hotel couldn't find them. No answer on their phones. No trace. I booked the first flight to Bali. By the time I landed, the local police had already written it off. "Newlyweds," the detective said, shrugging. "They probably ran off for some private time." But I knew Joyce. She wouldn't just vanish, not without telling someone. The hotel staff acted nervous. The manager kept saying, "We've never had anything like this happen before," like that made it better. I demanded to see their room. Walking in there, that's when it got real. Joyce's makeup was still on the bathroom counter. Jeremy's watch sat on the nightstand, the expensive one he never took off. Their suitcases were still there, clothes half unpacked, like they stepped out for 5 minutes and never came back. Then I found Jeremy's phone. It was wedged between the mattress and the headboard, powered off. When I turned it on, there was one unsent text in the drafts. Just 3 words. They found us. The last outgoing call was to a number labeled Cameron. That's when I knew. This wasn't some romantic getaway gone wrong. Something bad happened, and Jeremy knew it was coming. I called Cameron as soon as I saw Jeremy's phone. Straight to voicemail. No surprise there. Turns out Cameron wasn't just some random friend. He was Jeremy's college roommate. The best man at their wedding. The guy who gave that awkward toast about how Jeremy always had a way of getting out of trouble. At the time, we all laughed. Now, not so funny. I tracked Cameron down at some corporate office in Jakarta where he supposedly worked. Except, when I got there, the receptionist gave me this blank stare. "No one by that name works here." That's when I noticed the security cameras following me. Subtle but obvious once you see it. I played dumb, left the building, and waited. 2 hours later, Cameron walked out. He looked like hell, pale, jumpy, like he hadn't slept in days. When I stepped in front of him, he nearly dropped his coffee. "Nick, what the—" I didn't let him finish. "Jeremy's gone, Joyce is gone, and your number was the last call on his phone." Cameron's face went dead. Not shocked, not confused, just resigned. Like he'd been expecting this. He dragged me to some back alley cafe, kept checking over his shoulder the whole time. Then he said the words that changed everything. Jeremy owed people money. Bad people. Apparently Jeremy had been mixed up in something back in college. Some gambling debt that spiraled. Cameron thought it was handled. But then, a week before the wedding, Jeremy showed up at his door in the middle of the night. "They're coming for me," he'd said. Cameron tried to help, gave him cash, told him to lay low, but Jeremy just laughed. "Nah, I've got a plan. After the honeymoon, we disappear for good." I sat there trying to process this. Joyce had no idea, none of us did. Then Cameron slid a key across the table. "Jeremy left this with me, said if anything happened, give it to you." It was for a storage locker. Next time, I break into that locker, find something Joyce was never supposed to see, and realize Jeremy's plan was way darker than anyone imagined. The storage facility was one of those 24-hour places on the edge of town, the kind with flickering lights and security cameras that haven't worked in years. Cameron wouldn't come with me, said he'd already done enough. I didn't argue. The locker was smaller than I expected, just a metal box really. When I slid the key in, the lock stuck for a second, like it hadn't been opened in a while. Then it clicked. Inside, there were 3 things: a manila envelope, thick, heavy, a burner phone, the cheap kind you buy at a convenience store, a wedding ring, but not Jeremy's. I tore open the envelope first. Passports, 2 of them. Jeremy and Joyce's faces, but different names. Fake, really good fakes. Underneath those, plane tickets to Buenos Aires dated for next week. The burner phone had 1 contact saved, the account. No messages, no call history, just there. Then there was the ring. It wasn't Joyce's either. This one was older, scratched up. When I turned it over, I saw the engraving inside. Always M. I didn't know any M. I was about to call Cameron when the burner phone buzzed. 1 new text. "You're being watched. Don't go back to the hotel." I froze. How did they know I was here? Then, tires screeching outside. I slammed the locker shut, stuffed everything into my bag, and ducked behind a stack of boxes just as headlights swept through the front windows. A black SUV rolled up, engine idling. 2 men got out. I didn't recognize the first guy. Tall, broad, moved like he'd done this before. But the second one? Cameron. He looked nervous, kept glancing around like he was waiting for something. The taller guy said something to him, and Cameron shook his head. Then he pointed right at my locker. That's when I realized Cameron didn't give me that key to help me. He gave it to them. I waited until they were inside, then bolted for the back exit. The second I hit the alley, I heard shouting behind me. I ran. No idea where. Just away. The whole time, one question screaming in my head. Who the hell is M? I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that damn ring. Always M. By morning, I knew what I had to do. If Jeremy had a past he was running from, I needed to find it. And there was only one place to start: his first wife. Turns out, Jeremy had been married before. Took some digging, buried court records, a divorce filing from 7 years ago. Her name was Mira Chen. The photos online showed a woman with sharp eyes and a cautious smile. She'd been a financial analyst, lived in Singapore, and according to one old news clipping, she'd disappeared 2 years after the divorce, just like Joyce. I booked a train to the last address I could find for her, some tiny town up north. The whole ride, I kept checking over my shoulder, half expecting that black SUV to pull up beside me. It didn't. Her apartment building was run down, the kind of place people go when they don't want to be found. The super wouldn't talk to me at first, just glared through the security chain on his door. Then I showed him Mira's photo. His face changed. "She's gone," he said. "Left in the middle of the night. Didn't even take her things." I asked if anyone had come looking for her. He hesitated. Then, a man. A few weeks before she vanished. Well-dressed, charming. Jeremy. The super let me into her apartment. Said the cops had already been through it. The place was frozen in time. Dishes in the sink. A half-finished book on the coffee table. And on the wall, wedding photos. Jeremy and Mira, smiling like they'd invented happiness. That's when I saw it. On the desk, a sticky note with a single word. Bali? My blood went cold. Jeremy had been there before. With her. I tore through the rest of the apartment. In the bedroom, under the mattress, I found a notebook. Pages ripped out. But on the very last sheet, scribbled in panic. "He's not who he says he is. The resort isn't safe. If you're reading this, I didn't make it out. Don't trust the police. Don't trust anyone. Look for the boat." I didn't understand. What boat? Then my phone buzzed. A notification. Joyce's Instagram had just updated. A new post. A photo of the beach. No caption, no tag. Just sand, water, and in the corner, the same shadow from her last picture. But the timestamp? Posted today. Next time, I go back to Bali. The police finally tell me the truth about Jeremy, and I find out what really happens at that resort. I stared at Joyce's Instagram post until my eyes burned. That shadow, the same one from the honeymoon photo, it didn't make sense. How? She was gone. The police had nothing. The resort claimed they'd cooperated fully. And now this? I zoomed in. The sand looked different. Not the soft white powder of the resort beach. Grittier, darker. And in the distance, barely visible, a wooden dock. Then I remembered Mira's note. Look for the boat. The flight back to Bali felt longer this time. Every passenger looked suspicious. Every glance held a warning. I landed with Mira's notebook in my bag and Jeremy's burner phone in my pocket, waiting for another text. It never came. First stop, the resort. I didn't bother with the front desk. Instead, I walked straight down to the beach, following the shoreline until the fancy umbrellas and cocktail servers disappeared. The sand got rougher, the waves louder. And then, there it was. A broken down dock, just like in Joyce's photo. And tied to it, a boat. Not some fancy yacht. A fishing vessel, paint peeling, engine barely running. The name on the side was faded, but I could still make it out. Mira's Luck. My stomach dropped. I climbed aboard, half expecting someone to jump out at me. The deck was empty, but the cabin door was unlocked. Inside, the air smelled like salt and gasoline. And on the floor, a phone. Joyce's phone. The screen was cracked, but it still turned on. The last app open? Maps. A route plotted to a set of coordinates about 20 miles offshore. And then I saw the photos. Dozens of them. All taken after Joyce disappeared. Jeremy standing on this same boat, talking to two men I didn't recognize. Joyce, sitting in the corner, her hands tied. And the last one, a timestamp from yesterday. Jeremy, alone, holding a passport. Not his. I didn't hear the engine until it was too late. By the time I made it back to the deck, another boat was pulling up beside us. Two men. One of them was the guy from the SUV, the one who'd come with Cameron. The other, Jeremy, alive, smiling, and holding a gun. The boat's engine cut out, leaving only the sound of waves slapping against the hull. Jeremy kept the gun steady, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. "Nick," he said, like we were old friends meeting by chance. "Should have known you'd find this place." The taller man, the one from the storage facility, moved behind me. I didn't turn around. I already knew what was in his hands, the same zip ties I'd seen in Joyce's photos. Jeremy sighed. You really shouldn't have come looking. I held up Joyce's phone, the screen still lit with that last photo of him. Where is she? For a second, his grip on the gun tightened. Then he laughed. She's safe, for now. The taller man grabbed my arms, yanking them behind my back. The plastic bit into my wrists. Jeremy stepped closer, tilting his head. You know, I liked you. Out of everyone, you were the only one who ever really saw me. He tapped the gun against his leg. That's why I'm giving you a choice. He reached into his pocket and pulled out two things, a lighter and Mira's notebook. Burn it, he said. All of it. The photos, the notes, everything. Walk away and I'll let Joyce go. I stared at him. You're lying. Maybe, he shrugged, but it's the only shot you've got. The taller man shoved me toward the cabin. Inside, a metal trash can sat in the corner. Jeremy dropped the notebook in. Then he held out the lighter. I looked at the photos taped to the walls. Mira, Joyce, other faces I didn't recognize. All of them last seen at that resort. All of them gone. Jeremy's voice was quiet. Tick-tock, Nick. I flicked the lighter. The flame caught fast. 1 week later, the police closed the case. Runaway newlyweds, they said. No evidence, no leads. Joyce never came home. But 3 days after I got back, a package arrived. No return address. Inside, a single key and a note. You kept your word, so will I. The key fits a locker in a bus station 2 towns over. I haven't gone yet. I don't know if I will. The locker key on a table. The camera pulls back to reveal Nick's hand, hovering, then cutting to black. Was she ever really in danger? Or was she part of it all along? Comment below. This story isn't over yet. What do you think happened to Joyce? Was she a victim or something else? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you think Nick should open that locker, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, because the truth is still out there. This is the end of the story. Do well to support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you.